Close. This lace is showing here. Come. I think this is my first live on my channel. This is my first live on my channel. And today I am outside looking like shit. No makeup on my face. I've got on a lace front wig and a head tie, and just, I was at the gym earlier and came out from the gym, and I got Tessie here with me. And I have to make sure that she has both shoes in her feet at all times because she keeps taking her shoe off in the road. Like, I literally, I called a Lyft. Invited me to collaborate on a post. What's that about? I called a Lyft to take us home, and by the time the lift got here and I looked down to pick her up to put her inside of the lift, she only had one shoe in her foot. And so I was like, where the hell is your next shoe? And then I was searching all over. I had to tell the lift to hold on. I'm like, oh my God, can you please help me find, not help me find. I said, can you please wait? Just help me a bit and just wait a few minutes for me to go and look for her shoe. And her shoe was all the way around the corner. So I had walked to the end of the block with her, not realizing that she was only walking with one shoe in her foot, and she kicked off her shoe from the time we were around the corner. You know, but what compelled me to go live today, as it's my first live on this channel, is that I'm really just walking and boxing my brain, because God alone knows that I have been through so much on this journey. And there are many times that you start to feel like you should give up, and you really only can depend on the power of God to give you the strength to keep on going. I started off, I guess, trying or attempting to tell my story. It was more of like a heal out loud kind of process. And then I think sometimes we start worrying about our friends and family and how they're gonna feel if we, talk about what they did, talk about what they've done to us. And it's like, I mean, they should have never done it to us in the first place. And they're not sorry that they did it to us. They only will feel sorry about the fact that people found out what they did. That's the only thing that they'll be upset about. They're not upset about the fact that they did what they did to you. They're not upset about the fact that they did what they did to you. They have no remorse about what they've done to you. They don't care about what they've done to you, and they don't care how you feel about what they've done to you. They don't care about the trauma that you're left with. They really don't care. But if you start talking about it, if you start telling the truth about them, that's when they're gonna care. Not about you, about themselves. They care about how the truth makes them look to other people. But my question is, if you are embarrassed by the truth, why did you do it? Why did you think that it was okay to do it if you know, going back and you got a little while, a couple of errands. I wish I could run some errands. Well, here's the joke. I left my keys and my wallet inside the house, and nobody's home. So me and my daughter, me and my daughter are outside on a stroll, pretty much just taking in the weather. Um, and I guess maybe it's allowing me to relax and just be with my thoughts, because I would tell you right now, if I was inside of the house, I would be just back on my computer working my ass off, and just being in overdrive and being burnt out. Um, Trying my best to teach myself how to do things that I don't know how to do, you know. So I'm pretty much waiting for my mom to reach back over this side.
Hello, pretty young lady. How old is she?
She's 2.
Oh, I got 3-year-old grandbaby.
Yeah, she looks like she's 3 because she's tall.
Oh,
But
what
she's
kind of
2.
words does she say?
A whole lot of stuff.
Can I hear
A
one?
whole
Because
lot.
I got these 3-year-old grandbabies.
Yeah.
They twins.
Oh, I'm a
Hello.
twin.
Oh, you a twin?
I am.
Are you the oldest or the?
No, I was born second.
Oh, mine's 18 months,
Yeah.
18 weeks.
They're 18 weeks apart. Okay.
18 minutes.
18 minutes. 18 minutes. No, me and my sister are 1 minute apart.
Hello.
Say hi.
How are you? You okay? I'm very friendly. But you're not? Don't worry about
Yeah,
it. 'Cause I would get on that
Say bye-bye.
Congratulations.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Yeah, so my daughter likes to ignore people a lot. She's very protective of her space. She's very protective of her energy. And I love the fact that as her mom, I don't even have to teach her that. Like, she's a baby, but she was already born with that. Like, her discernment is just like, I love my baby girl. Um, babies pick up on people's spirits, and they know who they, vibe with and who they don't. And my daughter's very good at that. She very protective of her space, very protective of her energy. Um, Definitely not naive. Definitely not super friendly. Definitely not. You know, she gives people the mean mug look. She does not another thing too, making eye contact with people sometimes seems to be a bit maybe inviting. And so she doesn't do that, you know. So Tessie, there's a little park here. And if you want to play. Sometimes I feel really guilty about not taking her to the park as I should, because when you're going through, and again, I can't call this postpartum depression, and that's why when I went to postpartum therapy, it was they could not diagnose me with postpartum depression because I did not fit the, uh, you know, what's it, eligibility criteria. Is it open? Open to the public every day from 8 a.m. to dusk when school is not in session. There's a little park here that I've never taken her to. And I don't know, it says that it's open, but it doesn't look like it's open. It's actually chained. Uh, I think I really should get her a little bike and start bringing her to, you know, ride it, kick a ball. I've secluded myself from society ever since I'm traumatized, guys. I went through an extremely traumatizing event when it comes to people. And I honestly think that I've been searching for the right community. Look at the field. And it's empty, you know, like not much people are there, which is perfect for me because I don't like large crowds. I'm a person that yay. I don't like large crowds. I am very antisocial. I have a lot of social anxiety. I don't like attention. I don't like when people look at me. I don't even like when people interact with me, to be honest with you. I am a loner. So, you know, when people come around me, I kind of get nervous. So, I like small, intimate spaces where it's like, you know, just a few people. And you could kind of have the space and the freedom to just enjoy yourself at peace. There's a little boy over there with like this little bike. Looks like he's about 3 years old. And Tessie is getting big and she needs stuff like that, you know? She needs stuff like that. And I pretty much, again, it's not postpartum depression. Like they said, they couldn't really diagnose you with postpartum depression because, you know, they'll evaluate you, ask you a bunch of questions pertaining to, you know, the baby, your pregnancy, how you're feeling post-pregnancy, how you're feeling about the baby. And, you know, based on that evaluation, it's not postpartum depression. It's more post-traumatic stress disorder. Okay? I wouldn't even really call it a disorder, to be honest with you. It's really just post-traumatic stress. And it's not from the pregnancy itself, and it's not from the baby, but it's post-trauma from the event that took place 6 to 7 months after she was born. As a matter of fact, the fall happened in September, so she was actually 8 months old. Um, 8 going on 9, yeah. So it's really post-traumatic stress. And so postpartum therapy, you know, they don't help with that. You more so would have to go to generalized therapy or a general psychologist to deal with post-traumatic stress. And, oh wow, look, it's a map of the world. This is so cute. And it's her first time being in a field like this. And I think she would enjoy coming here every day. You see 1, 4, 13, 6, 10, 15. When people traumatize you right after you give birth to a baby, you don't want to be around people anymore. And then you don't even want your baby to be around people because you become extremely over. Yeah, I've become extremely overprotective of my baby, extremely overprotective of myself also because of what people have done to us. And I just don't want anybody around my baby. I just don't want anybody around me. Um, Again, which is not even good for her brain development because kids are supposed to be around other kids in order for them to learn and become more social. And right now, she's a little bit behind on her social emotional skills because really and truly, she's only been around me and her dad and my mom for the most part. She goes to school and, of course, she interacts with the students in her class and her teacher. But when I pick her up from school, she comes right back home and really she's just interacting with me and her dad and my mom. So, um, and then we don't really get out a lot. I pretty much lock myself up in the house all day with her. We don't really come out and get a lot of sunlight. We don't really come out and play because I am stuck in time. I'm stuck in time from when the trauma happened. And it doesn't help that her dad is stuck in time from his fall. And, at least I went to therapy to talk about what happened and try to work out how do I pick myself back up mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Now I'm back in the gym to pick myself back up physically. But it really does not help that the person who actually had the accident didn't do the therapy. And so I have become basically the therapist because they're only going to speak to someone that they feel comfortable speaking to, and that person is me. He feels comfortable speaking to me about how he feels about everything. And so I'm carrying the weight of my own mental trauma and his mental trauma as well, my own emotional trauma and his emotional trauma. And then you have the baby just not getting the versions of us that we really want to be because, you know, it's just a lot. It's a lot. Um, you can't force someone to see someone else that they don't know and talk about their emotional trauma to a stranger, um, especially when it comes to a man. Men do not even open up emotionally to people in general. So, as a woman, consider yourself lucky if your man is even telling you how he feels, and I'm grateful at least that I don't have to pry it out of him. I'm not in one of those situations where you're dealing with a man that simply acts out instead of speaking up. At least he definitely does tell me how he's feeling. And then I pretty much kind of go into overdrive trying to find solutions to help him no longer have to feel that way. You know, I kind of feel like it's my responsibility to help him to no longer have to feel how he's feeling, help us get back on track. Um, take a lot of the I take a lot of the load off of him and put it onto myself because I feel like, he's the one who fell. He's the one who has the injury. He's the one who, when you have a traumatic brain injury, we're talking about a moderate TBI here, where you have seizures and a stroke on the left side of your brain, and the effects of what it does to your brain cells. Um, like, yeah, you recover, but things in the brain have changed, you know. On top of that, having been under such heavy medication for months also affects the functions of the brain, the chemicals in the brain, And so that person needs not just a lot of physical rest, but a lot of mental and emotional rest too. And it's really not fair to that person when the people around them continue to traumatize them after the brain injury, And I tried to explain that to his family, but they simply did not care. Um, they're like, he did it to himself. Like, they just didn't care. And that alone was also traumatizing for me. Like, how? How do you not care? How? How do you not understand that you're making it worse? And they were just like, well, he's made our lives a living hell, so we don't care. They just were like, he's getting back his karma. Like, they just felt like he deserved to go through that. And to be honest with you, I will never be able to wrap my mind around how. So, yeah, it's after 3. We're about to head back inside the house. I think I've done enough talking for the past 20 something minutes. But I'm mentally strong. I'm emotionally strong as well. Uh, Now it's just about finding the right support to be able to feel like you're not doing it all alone. Because I've been handling a lot all by myself. I think I'm going to start bringing her here every day. It says they close at 8 p.m. And it's not too many people out here. So I don't have to worry about, again, the trauma, just being around people. Hello? Oh, I think the phone cut off. Yeah, we have to work on our social skills and start trying to repair the trauma of being around people. Because people are evil, people are wicked. And I'm already coming from a place where I grew up so antisocial. I grew up with social anxiety. I grew up already being a person that stays to myself. And then people just came along and proved to me why I should continue staying to myself. And I don't want to socially impair my daughter. I don't want to socially cripple her just because of what happened to us. Yeah, so that's it for today. Um, it's my first YouTube live. And maybe we'll be back again tomorrow with more documentation of improvement. Until next time, goodbye. Thank you for watching. And thank you for everyone who commented. Okay, I can't pronounce all of the names that are on the live here. So just thank you to everyone who commented. And bye-bye from me and Tessie. Say bye-bye.
Yay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
She said bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.